is zero. No matter they are a scholar or they say we are wali or we are kutab, they might be in their own discipline. But now they have to actually abide because they have to be decision making and a conflict resolution system. We can't leave things in disarray as such. So as I said that even my family members, if they say, oh no, this is Hazrat Sahib's son, he must have known this. He is his daughter, she must. Yes, if they are able for that, if they are further added to this or any thing, yes, they are. Otherwise, up to this stage, they are not. Or they have any written thing from me as such actually. But everything, okay, you are doing, teaching, mentoring, good and well. But when there's a difference, and there's between two people, two parties, two groups, in the Tareeqah or wherever, then the matter refers to them. And these people actually will decide, they already have been given guidance what to do. So even they say getting guidance through visions from myself, or now they claim, oh yes, we are getting in the vision, Hazrat Sahib said this to us. I said, no, it's irrelevant now because the outward authority is actually the authority now. It will be considered they are getting messages or visions from devils and jinns. This includes my children and family. So there's no now any chance, any doubt, no, I have this and I have this permission. No one has anything except actually these four names you can see. Some are not here, Dr. Shah Alam, Qais Mia, Abdul Rahim and Sajid Hussain. Now there is a possibility that difference happens in them. For example, they say, one says, no, it should be like this. One other said, it should be like this. Other say, this means like this. That this is a possibility. It won't happen as such normally, but in case I am taking into even that. So underneath the solution is written, if differences arises amongst the above, then Dr. Shah Alam should be followed. He should be considered one of my representatives even after my death. So there is actually my signature which actually will go. And this is what actually has been from the Mashayikh and considered whole. Yes, if a person does not want to follow this, no, I am following my own self or other any path, good and well, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them, but not using or related to the name of the tariq or actually anything related to the tariq. So they have their own email, they have their own group, they have their own email. For you as well, it is, if there is any, normally you send on the groups, that's fine. That's how it should be. But if there any issue happens, any difference happens, then the email they will give you and you can, or anyone can write to them and they will respond to that. Now, if you have any question in relation to this, then please you can ask. Otherwise, we then inshallah carry on with the Murqabah. And in these matters, one should not use logic. You see, what the Mashayikh have said, they are means seers, we are blind. That is a logic, you will be destroyed, or this happens and that happens and this and that. Shaitan used logic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said simply do something. You can see Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam process, right? He using logic, no, I will be I will be disrespected in the eyes of angels. Oh, I will, what will angels think about me, what I've been worshipping. Plus more, what will fire think? I am made of fire, and this Adam alayhi salam is from dust, and he used all this logic and justification on it. वो मामला ही मुख्तलिफ है. In that part, there is no even actually, if a person mentally thinks it is danger, they will be deprived. Actually, वो है ही नहीं, वो field ही मुख्तलिफ है. It's not to actually be mixed with administration and how worldly governments run and things. This is a completely spiritual matter. A person who don't know about them, they should not actually even think and command and follow the qualified people. So this system is in place now for you in my life and after, so that there is unity. कोई इख्तिलाफ ना हो. I've noticed many times this happens. One person dies and the others then fight over. They say, one says, I am this, one said, I am doing this. One said, I know what is there, I am the this and this. So these people are, as a whole, like supervisory panel is administrative panel of the Tariq, higher authority representing myself. These are the spiritual panel, supervisory panel, so that actually in matters of administration or in matters of knowledge, wisdom, Tariq, difference happen, they can solve it, and so that the work can carry on. Otherwise, actually, there's danger that people will just actually go different direction and groups are formed. अब किसी ने कोई बात पूछनी है तो पूछ लें.
Relating to this.
So, based on what you're preparing for, I'm a little bit upset, so please don't be angry with me. Have you had any indication that you're going to be leaving us soon or something?
Everyone is going to leave each other soon. Soon is meaning what is life, 10, 20 years, they are 1 or 2 years, 3 years. So, no, I don't know. But actually, yes, one thing we know, that we all are actually, how long we are going to live, we are 40s, 50s, people live till, if they live harder than 80s, 90s, so sooner or later, these things actually.
I think we still need you, no one can replace you, and a lot of us are still in our spiritual infancy.
Yes, alhamdulillah, that's why actually these people are nominated, that actually the deen of Allah will carry on, and Anbiya alayhimus salam have come and gone, and the deen is continuing. If people are qualified and they are trained, so alhamdulillah, that's it actually, alhamdulillah. और कुछ किसी के पास कोई बात है पूछने वाली, और you think something can come up, तो वो आप पूछ लें, because maybe others will be looking or seeing or this recording after, and कोई इस तरह कहीं भी कोई थोड़ा भी शैतानी या नफसानी यानी रास्ता हो, ताकि उसको बंद किया जा सके, ताकि जो है कोई ऐसे तो उर्दू में भी सुन ले. देखिए, जब बंदा रूहानी दुनिया में तरीक़ पर चलता है, तो जिस तरह इंतज़ामी अमूर में इख्तलाफ हो सकता है, रूहानी अमूर में भी इख्तलाफ हो सकता है, मुराक़बात में, उनकी ताबीर में, उनके मतलब में, और तरीक़ की स्टेजेस में बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. तो ये जो सर्टिफिकेट अरबी और उर्दू में, इंग्लिश में भी, उर्दू में भी बन जाएगा, तो बनाया गया है ये इसलिए ताकि कोई किसी को कोई उलझन ना हो. तो अगर किसी ने को मुराक़बा किया या कोई ख्वाब है, मुकाशफा या वैसे तरीक़ के बारे में कोई इख्तलाफ पैदा होता है, तो ये 4 बंदे मुकर्रर हैं उस इख्तलाफ को ख़त्म करने के. तो डॉक्टर शाह आलम और कैस अब्दुल रहीम और साजिद हुसैन, तो अगर इनसे भी ख़त्म नहीं, इनका भी आपस में हो जाता है, तो फिर वो डॉक्टर शाह आलम को फॉलो करें. बस वही वो समझा जाएगा कि वही का जो कह रहे हैं वही सही है, वही मेरी बात है, और जो इससे कहे नहीं मानता वो अलहदा हो जाए, वो अपना अल्लाह के साथ रास्ता, क्योंकि तरीक़ इस्लाम तो नहीं है, मतलब मुख्तलिफ़ तरीक़े हैं जिसमें जाए वो अल्लाह का कर्ब, लेकिन इसमें रह के उसको इनकी बात मानना पड़ेगी. और अगर वो कहे नहीं मेरे पास जो है फिर इल्म है, मैं उनके साथ रहा, मुझे कमरे में उन्होंने ये कहा, मदीना शरीफ में ये कहा, मैंने 15 साल गुजारे हैं, मैंने 20 साल, मैं शुरू से हूँ, मैं आखिर से हूँ, इस बात की कोई अहमियत नहीं है. کہ جب 4 بندے مقرر کر دیے گئے تو پہلی کوئی بات کسی کی سنی نہیں جائے گی، سمجھا جائے گا کہ یہ نفس اور شیطان اور اپنی غلط فہمی اور سمجھ کے پیچھے لگا ہوا ہے۔ یہ اس لیے کہہ رہا ہوں کہ بہت ساری جماعتیں جب وہ بندے جاتے ہیں تو پیچھے سے اختلاف شروع ہو جاتا ہے، اختلاف شروع ہوتا ہے، پھر وہ گروپ بن جاتے ہیں، پھر ان کو پتہ نہیں ہوتا کرنا کیا ہے، کیونکہ وہ بندہ تو رہتا نہیں، اس سے پھر جو ہے دین کا کام فرق پڑ جاتا ہے، رک جاتا ہے، بے برکتی ہو جاتی ہے۔ تو یہ اس کے ختم، جس طرح سپروائزری پینل ہے انتظامی امور کے خیال کرنے کے لیے، اسی طرح جو ہے یہ اس میں بندے بڑھائے بھی جا سکتے ہیں اور بھی شاید اپنا کیے جا سکتے ہیں، تو لیکن جتنے بھی بڑھائے جائیں وہ فائنل اتھارٹی وہ ادھر ہی آئے گی جہاں یہ لکھا ہوا ہے یہ چیز، تاکہ جو ہے اتحاد سے، اتفاق سے۔ دوسرا یہ کہ آپ کیونکہ مراقبات کرتے ہیں تو آپ بھیجتے ہیں گروپ میں، کوئی سمجھ نہیں آ رہی تو بجائے کہ کوئی آزمائش کا شکار ہو، کوئی فتنہ کا شکار ہو، کوئی ٹیسٹ آئے اور بندہ کو پتہ نہ ہو میں نے کرنا کیا ہے، تو وہ پھر جو ہے یعنی اس کو پتہ ہو ہم نے کرنا کیا ہے، میں یہ کرنا ہے، تاکہ پھر دین خود بھی وہ اپنا سفر جاری رکھیں اور دین کا سفر جو ہے جاری رکھیں اور اللہ کے حکم سے چلتے رہیں۔ وعلیکم السلام ورحمۃ اللہ۔
تو ان کو جو ایکسپیرینس ہوتا ہے تو کیا وہ ہر بات اس میں لکھے یا ایسے ہی خاموش ہو جائے تو کیا کریں؟
نہیں دیکھیں، وہ تو کہیں نہیں گئی کہ جو باتیں بندے جن کو وہاں گھر میں کرتے ہیں یا کہیں کرتے ہیں، اس کے لیے تو گروپ پہلے ہی بنا ہوا ہے، اس میں تو مسئلہ ہی نہیں نا، وہ تو پہلے ہی جو سینشن گروپ بنا ہوا ہے وہ اپنا جو لکھیں اگر کوئی جواب چاہیے۔ یہ تب ہے کہ جب اختلاف ہوتا ہے، جب کوئی ڈفرینس بھی نہیں، ایک استاذ کچھ کہہ رہا ہے، دوسرا استاذ کچھ کہتا ہے، ایک بندہ کچھ، ایک ضد پہ اڑ گیا میں نہیں میں ایسے ہی ہے، دوسرے کہتے ہیں نہیں ایسے ہی ہے، تو ان کا پھر جو ہے نارمل تو وہ سارے لوگ روزانہ وہ مکاشفات بھیجتے ہیں، ان کو جواب دیے جاتے ہیں، کوئی مسئلہ نہیں ہوتا۔ یہ اس حالت میں ہے کہ جب کوئی اختلاف ہو جائے دونوں استاذوں میں، مثلا 2 استاد ہیں پڑھاتے ہیں، ان میں اختلاف ہو گیا، کسی مکاشفے کی تعبیر میں اختلاف ہو گیا، کسی خواب کی تعبیر میں، تو پھر ایک کو تو فالو کرنا ہے نا۔ تو جی یہ ٹھیک ہے، جزاک اللہ، سبحانک اللہم و بحمدک، نشہد ان لا الہ الا انت۔ تو وہ ہے ابھی تو وہ بدر شاہ عالم وغیرہ تو ادھر نہیں ہے، ٹھیک ہے، یہ بدر آپ لے لے، بدر کیس تو ادھر ہے، یہ ماشاء اللہ، یہ چلو آپ کو تو والے کر دے۔ سنیں بعد میں قائم کر دیں گے۔ میں اپنے قلم سے کروں گا بعد میں پھر انشاءاللہ۔ یہ لے لیں، آپ نے لے لیں، سب کو نظر بھی آئے، یہ ادھر کھڑے ہو اسی سامنے، یہ وہی ہے جو ادھر ہے سیم۔ بسم اللہ، الحمد للہ، الحمد للہ۔ ٹھیک ہے، جزاک اللہ، ماشاء اللہ۔ استغفر اللہ۔ Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalamu ala Rasulillah. As this is the month of Mawlid, अभी ये मिलाद शरीफ का महीना है, तो इस मुराक़बे में हम सब विज़िट करेंगे, कोशिश करेंगे रूहानी तौर पर नबी अलैहिस्सलाम के वालिदैन माजिदैन, ख़ास तौर पर वालिदा माजिदा अबवा शरीफ में सैयदा आमिना रदियल्लाहु ताला अन्हा, और उसके बाद फिर हज़ूर अलैहिस्सलाम की बारगाह में हाज़िर होंगे शुक्रिया के लिए और उनकी शुक्रगुज़ारी के लिए कि वो उन्होंने इतने इनामात और करम और इतनी मुश्किल से हम तक ये दीन पहुँचाया। और ज़ाहिर है बचपन में आपने मुश्किलें काटी, सैयदा आमिना रदियल्लाहु ताला अन्हा ने भी काफ़ी मुश्किलें काटी और अल्लाह पाक ने उनको वसीला बनाया आपका इस दुनिया में आने का। तो इस निस्बत से सो दैट आफ्टर द spiritual purification of the lataif, after transfer we'll straight go to the Abwa Sharif, the graveyard of the grave, blessed grave of Sayyidina Amina radiallahu anha and also Sayyidina Abdullah radiallahu anhu, and then thanking the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and then you know the adab after what to do. So be in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you will spend about 15 minutes on Tazkiyah Lataif and 15 minutes in the Murqabah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. اللهم يا ربي اللهم يا ربي بجاه نور وجهك الكريم وبفضلك العظيم اجمع بيننا وبين سيدنا اجمع بيننا وبين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم في الدنيا قبل الآخرة. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه في كل لمحة ونفس عدد ما وسعه علمك. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. في كل لمحة ونفس عدد ما وسعه علم الله. لا إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله في كل لمحة ونفس عدد ما وسعه علم الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. Now begin the tazkiyah of Lataif for 15 minutes, inshallah. صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. أستغفر الله أستغفر الله.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So after the transfer, I saw her sub where they're sitting now, and I walked over and I conveyed salam, and then it was as though that we was automatically transferred to Abwa Sharif, where the blessed Qabr Mubarak of Sayyidina Amina is. And it was extremely full of light, and there was light, your staircases, your spiral ones that was leading to the blessed your palace, and there was a garden area there, and it was so peaceful and you're tranquil, and as soon as we went down the spiral staircase, through the garden to the door, the door sort of automatically opened, and Sayyidina Amina was and they were there, and I was just keeping my eyes down, and it was just sort of so peaceful and tranquil. And her sub gave Islam first, and then I also gave Islam, and they welcomed us in, and there was lots of sort of food, drink, and on the table, and it was just that sort of that affection and that love that a mother has. And there was just something that I really wanted to mention to them. So I looked at her sub, and her sub gave the ishara, and I said that as a young child, my mother used to put the naat on that Bibi Amina ke bol Allahi Allah, and they smiled, and they said that where is your mother, and they mentioned that just go call her. So after looking at her sub again, they gave the ishara. So I went and called my mother, and they was there. Sat there just talking and having a bit of the food and drink, and then I asked Sayyidina Amina that is there anything that I can do, and as a mother has that love and affection, she said go outside and they go outside and do the gardening. So when I was doing the gardening, I was just there, and then Hasab was praying the Durood Sharif, and from there we asked for ijazat, and then it was granted.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Transferred and met the teacher at the blessed grave of the mother of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Sayyidina Ami radiallahu anha. And I heard them delivering the nasiha about that it is more pleasing to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to visit the blessed mother. And when they had finished, everyone had got up to follow them, and they said, now we are leaving to return home. And they just said to me, you stay here and do not move until I give you permission to leave. So I just sat back down, and I could feel the vibrancy and the radiating light from the qabr, and I could hear the angels serving the blessed mother of the Prophet ﷺ. And some people came up to me and said, your Shaykh Hassab is leaving, are you not going to greet them off? And for a moment I thought, I cannot leave because Hassab has said that I must stay here. And they were like having a joke and saying, are you not going to come? Your Shaykh is leaving now, your Shaykh is leaving now. And I said, if I get up, I said, if I stay, I will stay with Hassab, but if I get up, I will disconnect myself from the teacher. And then they just were making a joke and a laugh, and then they left. And even now, even after the Durood Sharif, I can still feel myself there, as though I have not left. I'm still sat beside their grave and just waiting the hukam of the teacher. Jazakallah.
MashaAllah.
So whilst doing the Lataifs, I was making my way through each one, and as I mentioned that focus on the green one. When I was doing the green one, they mentioned focus on this one, and then after the dark blue one, they told me yourself told me to transfer and meet yourself. So after the transfer, I came over to where yourself is sat, and I gave salam. After conveying salam, I asked for forgiveness for all the shortcomings and these types of things, and yourself mentioned that if one is down, one must get back up. If one doesn't know how to get back up, then one must seek knowledge in regards to this. And then we began to travel to the blessed city of Fez, and when we were outside the Mazar of Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Tabarak Ali, we began to walk, and as soon as we came into the Mazar Sharif, we were in a green field, and whilst we were walking to meet Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Tabarak Ali, the blessed teacher Hassab, they said, what do you see? And I could see a globe, and they mentioned that look at the places where there's darkness, there's still places there that do not have the message. My sons are there and they do not have the message. Then they mentioned that to the lesser more effect that one must be like Sayyidina Ikrimah radiallahu anh, dying for the message, dying to convey it to other people. And then we met Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Rahmatullah, and after conveying Salams, they told us to sit down, and they gave us some water, and you yourself mentioned that take 3 sips and pray Bismillah between each one, and then end with Alhamdulillah. So I did this, and then we travelled to with Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Rahmatullah to Medina Sharif, and all the Mashaykh were there, and it was as though they were waiting for Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to come back from an expedition. But before this, we met the Mashaykh. We met Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani Rahmatullah, Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiyallahu anhu, Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu Wajhul Kareem. And after conveying salams to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they told a large gathering to follow them, and we were walking in pairs to the blessed grave of Sayyidina Amina Sallallahu Alaiha. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, after we were stood there for a while, I could see light in each heart of the congregation that was there, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that this will be here for as long as you want it to be there. And to the lesser more effect. And then they gave ijazat for the congregation to leave, and then they called myself and yourself over. So we followed them. So we went over, and then again the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, "What do you see?" I seen a globe, and they mentioned there's still my ummatis there who are in darkness. So take this sword and this horse and give them the message. And then to less more effect, they mentioned that my Ahmed will show you how to do this. And then the vision ended there.
Assalamu alaikum. I had transferred and met Hazrat Sahab and the Grand Teacher outside the blessed grave of Sayyidina Amina radiyallahu anhu. They were reciting Durood Sharif, and I followed. There was light coming from the grave. Then the scene changed, and we were at Medina Sharif, where we met the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they said, one should empty his soul of himself, and the best of believers are the ones who are empty vessels, so that the spiritual father could mold them. They then mentioned that one spiritual father wants his child to achieve his goal by attaining the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Then the Murqabah ended.
After doing the Lataif, I transferred, but I kept struggling in terms of transferring, and through thoughts I kept coming back and forth, and I kept imagining Hassab's blessed face, and I kept transferring across and kept coming back again, and a thought came to my mind, and that just like in the physical journey you have to plan, in the spiritual journey there has to be a plan of action as how you're going to go through the stages. As I did that, it became a lot easier as I knew where I was going.
met our teacher, and then we shook hand and asked for some nasihat that I've not done this ascension for a long time. So then Mashayikh gave some nasihat that when a person leaves ascension Lataif for a long time, it becomes like a person has not driven the car. The car becomes rusties and the engines and seats, and like an example of a house that's been not used for a long time, that also becomes dirty. So this Lataif cleans the person inwardly, and so the person becomes ready. So then after that, we went to Mazar Sharif. My thought came that go to direct to Hazrat Amna Anha, but then I thought to myself that how can I leave Sayyidina Abdul Bagh through him? We got all these blessings. So we went to Mazar Sharif, Sayyidina Abdul Bagh. Then after some salam to them, they appeared. And then Hazrat inspired me to take permissions. Then we went to direct to Mazar Sharif of Hazrat Amna Anha. Then after some salam, I saw them, but they were veiled in a light, white light clothing. Then we were sitting with them, and then our teacher started doing Salatu Salam. So as though we were doing Salatu Salam at the Mazar Sharif of Sayyidina Amna Anha, and this blessed mother of Rasulullah, they were listening. And then as we got permission to leave them, they mentioned that give my salam to your teacher, and then from there we finished.
ठीक है माशाल्लाह.
Whilst cleansing the white lataif, I could see the colour pink, and the lataif was also like a whitish pinkish colour. I then continued each lataif and transferred. I then followed the blessed teacher. I then found the blessed teacher in the Zawiya. I gave my salam and sat in front of the teacher for a few minutes until the blessed teacher got up. As soon as Hazrat got up, we transferred to the mazar of the grand teacher. As soon as we walked into the blessed mazar, I could see clouds and a huge set of stairs going up. We then began by walking up these stairs, and I could see many mountains. As we were walking, the blessed teacher then mentioned to the nearest meaning, we should all unite under one message, the message of the Prophet ﷺ and Allah Azza wa Jal, because the message will not change and will forever remain the same. Likewise, we cannot differ in this matter. The blessed companions all were united under one message. Likewise, the work of Deen flourished. We carried on walking, and in the far distance, on other mountains, I could see other people walking towards Masjid Nabi. We then transferred to Old Masjid Nabi and sat for a few moments. The scene then changed, and I was walking with Hazrat Sahab along a hill. They then mentioned to the nearest meaning, the path to Allah Azza wa Jal and the Prophet ﷺ has many obstacles, and sadly we see people also becoming obstacles to Allah Azza wa Jal and the Prophet ﷺ. Likewise, those people who become obstacles for others, know that the Prophet ﷺ is not with those people. At this moment, the scene started to fade.
So one should know that actually using the two channels, one is the path of tazkiyah, which purifies the body, mind, heart and soul, and one is the path of mushahada and mi'raj, which enlightens persons and further purifies and decorates oneself with one or more of the akhlaq and the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the akhlaq of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. But both of these things are not the objectives. The path to Allah is not the objective, and the spiritual path is not the objective. Is the objectives where a person achieves spiritual maturity. And the other day in Birmingham I mentioned the 7 signs of spiritual maturity. That what happens, that how can one know one is becoming spiritually mature or is still a spiritual child and a baby and can be conned and can be actually overpowered. But how does one become? And I mentioned the concept of futuwa. Futuwa means chivalry, manliness, spiritual power, a person who is spiritually matured. So one can listen to that, or I will inshallah mention that again as well, all these things. And then secondly, the purpose is to decorate, illuminate yourself with the sifat and the qualities of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, which we call akhlaq. And they are from the quality of Allah. So if these two things are happening, the spiritual maturity signs, and this, then a person can hope in the mercy of Allah towards gaining the pleasure of Allah Jalla Majduhu. And then, as you've seen, many of you, some of you saw that Sayyidah Amina radiallahu anha says, go outside and do gardening. That's what gardening means, that actually make the path, make the deen of Islam easier for other people and do a work of dawah. So, nor actually, let's say you purified the body or mind, that's a guarantee of you've reached high level. Nor if you have seen a vision and spiritually traveling. But what is the sign? Those 7 signs I mentioned of fatuwa, and in addition to that, enveloping oneself with the akhlaq, sifat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the sifat, meaning they are from the sifat of Allah Jalla Majduhu. So you should have clarity of thought in this, that there are 2 channels, the purification and the Mi'raj ascension, and where, so that many people ask sometimes, oh, how would I know I have reached somewhere? Well, those are the 7 things which I mentioned, or you can know that you are reaching somewhere. Otherwise, you are on the way, and there's both possibilities that the danger is still there. Any question? कोई बात पूछनी है तो पूछ लें. जी जी फरमाएं.
मुझे ये करना था कि as far as imagination is concerned, alhamdulillah, imagination is no issue, because one could be in front of Muwajjah Sharif and reading Durood Sharif to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and with the teacher as well. But most of the friends that would mention the connection or the transfer, that is what is sorted really and is not happening.
Right. Could you mention what happened today? What did you do? And after transfer, what happened? Without mentioning it is a thought, imagination, or whatever. So like others mentioned, just the
perhaps I don't know what the transfer is, or what my thinking of transfer is, or what I hear from the brothers.
No, but you have told very crystal clear whilst we were in the Morocco what transfer is. That when after the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 lataif, then you imagine a spiritual body, and then you blow into that. That is what transfer. So
perhaps where, in my opinion, the transfer or connection is that when you actually are in front or you feel the presence of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
No, there is confusion. So what the solution of that is,
Yeah.
now just after we finish, sit with one of the teachers actually who is here, Brother Ustaz Qais is there, to go through the process and clarify these things, and also then do a short one,
Yeah.
and then also see myself once you've done that.
Inshallah.
So
Inshallah.
there shouldn't be any. It's only a confusion of the methodology and things, because you learned this in Morocco. So because this majlis is not a normal majlis like of nasiha, of dhikr, or spiritual theory or spirit. This is for people who know everything, who just come and they do, and they actually are connected in another way, that they are already a kind of connection, and they do, and then they mention, so that if there is any guidance required, they are given any question, and then they carry on with the week.
Jazakallah khair.
So inshallah this shouldn't be a difficult. Or kuch, anything else? Ji. फरमाए मैं सुन रहा हूँ. Just spiritually, in the spiritual world, just spiritually. Yeah. Yes. MashaAllah. جزاك الله. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. أستغفر الله العظيم. السلام عليكم.